In the constantly changing world of fundability, the big question is this: how are entrepreneurs and real estate investors like us, ones who want to grow our businesses and who are tired of paying for really expensive alternative lending, how do we tap into the most inexpensive money available and do it without the hassle of typical borrowing? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. Welcome to the Get Fundable podcast with your host, Merrill Chandler.
Welcome back, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are watching this is Merrill Chandler, your host of Get Fundable podcast. We are going to be talking about part 3 today of how to year-end preparation, how to end this year on a high note. I'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. I am so happy that you are here with me as we close out the year. This very well may be my last podcast for 2020. And I want to end it on a bang, not just a bang, a shebang, because we're talking about, this is part 3. Remember, part 3 of how to take advantage of the last quarter to be the diving board, literally be ready to launch into the next year. And so now let's kind of take a step back. This year has been crazy. Now, that may have impacted you positively. It may have impacted you negatively, but one way or the other, everything is different. Everything is different. How lenders are lending, how who gets to what, everybody's wearing masks. Everybody is trying to pivot their business to take advantage of every one of us that are kind of still at home. So they're trying to maintain our focus and stay isolated as we protect ourselves from this pandemic. Again, that has been a boon and beneficial to some, and it's been the bane of others' existence. So this is part 3, right? I've given you checklists. You want the Get Fundable Business Checklist.com to be able to download. Check in the podcast notes, the show notes for that. But we have provided so many powerful reminders, I guess is the best way to say it, right? Yes, it's a checklist, but in it, what we're delivering there is for you to take a look, not just at your finances, not just prepare your books for your accountant or your tax people. It is how to preparing your team, preparing your heart, preparing your body, preparing your mind to be successful in the oncoming year, right? But now that we've handled all that, that's all preparation. Part 3 is kind of like I'm on the, I don't want to say the warpath, but I have one message, and it's been going on for the last month. One message for the end of the year. Let's level up. Let's end hard and fast. Let's create a massive win. And what do I mean by that? Well, you, me, every one of us, to one degree or another, and I'm literally I'm a one. This is a one note song, and I'm just dee 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 dee. Everything I'm saying, my Facebook lives, my client coaching calls, everything I'm doing is making sure that I communicate this message. Why? Because it's been so powerful and inspiring to me, right? It was handed to me. Nick Long, one of my mentors in Multiple Club. He just nailed me between the eyes with this thought. And I've been guilty for, I don't know, the majority of the years of the last couple of decades. Yes, I've been a sloth for the last 3 years. Yes, I've been physically, I haven't done anything but what it takes to move a mouse and plug in a computer for physical fitness for 3 years. And one of the things Nick told me was that he asked me, what is my tendency? What is my tendency to let the last 2 to 3 weeks? Some people go from even Thanksgiving and just the entire month of December. It's kind of like, the schedule's different. We don't have a single week that's pure work without some sort of a family gathering, parties, plans for company parties. All those things change it up. And so I was guilty, and I'm just gonna put it out there that in one way or another, you and I are right there together. I, in the past, have let the last 2 to 3 weeks of the year and just kind of coast. Just coast. I have had less of a schedule. But not because I was taking care of myself. Let's be clear. I've had less of a schedule because I wanted to coast. I have spent so much time and energy seeing how I use the metaphor in another situation. It's like letting the air out of a balloon, right? The December is like it just fades away. It just fizzles for many of us. Not this year. This year, you and we are ending powerfully. We are ending on a high note. We're ending at the top of our game, not at the bottom of our game. We're ending with the best sales month ever, or a high, or better than last December. We are, whatever you're doing, we are finishing the projects on a high note, on a powerful note, rather than just coasting. So how do we do that? Well, if you want to check out every 10 at 10:30 for the next 21 days, including Christmas Day, I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live on Get Fundable, Credit Sense, Funding Hackers, and Momentum Mastermind, all my channels. I'm doing a Facebook Live that is going to ask you how you're going to end that day powerfully at the top of your game, giving it more than you've ever gotten. Because here's the thing, you know as well as I do how much, and whether they happen often or not, you know it's true. There are times when you finish out strong on a day, and then all of a sudden you're like, I feel amazing. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do a project in the house. I'm going to go finish. I'm going to call my children. We're going to go have dinner. Something, when you finish your day powerfully, you are recycling energy. You're cycling that energy up to go do more in your quality of life. But if you're like me, and I know I'm not alone in the universe, there might be one other person. I know that if you kind of, you just wind down the day on a low energetic note, losing the air in the balloon, I go to the kitchen, find something usually bad for me to eat, and I end up watching Netflix or watching a movie, and my energy continues to go down from the moment I was not, from the moment I left work. So what I'm after for you today, part 3 of how to kill it in your year-end preparations, is to end in a sprint. End at the top of your game. And so I refer you to, if you're listening to this anytime soon, from now until December 31st, you can count on me meeting you at 10:30 Mountain Time on any one of my social channels, and let's talk. because I'm going to tell you how I'm ending my game that day. And if we end every day on a high note, guys, then that means we end our week going, holy hell, I nailed this week, killed it, crushed it energetically. And then I do 3 or 4 weeks of that and I end my month. But in this month, I happen to end my year on a high note. What does that do for you when you walk into the next year? What does that do for you? You're like, I feel amazing about myself, rather than that internal voice that where I'm having like, yeah, now I need to, it's a new year, time to set my goals, time to get ready, time to move forward. But you're coming out of the doldrums. You're coming out of, imagine your New Year's Eve. I don't know how you celebrate. So be at home with your loved ones watching a movie. You could be out cocktail parties, dancing, having fun, whatever it is. Imagine that celebration when you crush it from now until the end of the month. Every day. I even gave the challenge to my team. I want to know, we have a team huddle every morning, and I'm asking them for the last 3 weeks of the month, I want to know how you're ending your day. What project, what activity? It could be a meeting, but how are you going to show up in that meeting such that when you get off the phone, you feel like a freaking superhero? How are you going to end? Let's say let's say you're doing data entry on a client file. How are you going to do it? How are you going to approach that goal? Are you going to do an extra one? Are you going to lean in a little bit more, do a little bit extra before you leave so that you end on a high note? I'm asking every one of my team members to tell me what it is they're going to do. Push the boundaries. Do more than is required of you. The good book calls it going the extra mile. But it's always when you do more than is required of you, right? If my team does one more client call than's on their schedule, that ratchets up your energy. If you sweep out the garage that you're prepping the house for your flip, and you said, you know what, I'm going to just sweep out the garage today instead of next week. I promise you at the end of that, you didn't have to do it. You chose into it. And because you chose into it, you're now in the extra mile. You're now feeling better about yourself than you did if you would have just said, okay, I finished all the things I needed to do this week. Yep, I decided to just do one more thing. And when you do that one more thing, everything changes, you guys. That extra mile, everything changes. You start being more positive, higher energy, and more powerful as a human being in that last activity, that extra mile, that going one step further. So guess what mine is? I'm having we're converting our entire program over onto a client portal. And I'm so excited about it. So I have a work meeting this afternoon. It's Friday when this is being recorded. I have a work meeting with my database programmer, and I am thrilled. That's going to be a high energy meeting for me because we're almost ready for beta. Hello. And we wanted to be in beta by the new year. I'm 3 weeks ahead of that schedule. So this meeting is one more thing where we're ahead. We're doing that extra mile. We're going further, faster. You need to pick something. You're listening to me while you walk, while you run, while you drive the car. Choose something today. As you listen to me, choose something today. What does the day look like at the end? What does the day look like? And then do one more thing. Just what doesn't matter. Damn it. It doesn't matter even what it is. Just do one more thing that is being required of you. Lean in to that one more thing, and it's going to change your afternoon, change your evening, and change your life. Come and join me, 10:30, and it'll be on Facebook. I'll be on Get Fundable and a Facebook page. Ask me a question, whatever, during that little thing. I'll challenge you then. Whatever your day ends like, do one more thing, you guys. And I swear we're going to crush it each day, this week, this month. And we will end our year more powerfully and more beautifully than we ever imagined. Now, one of those things that is going to be super awesome for this is we have a couple of slots left. I just want a public service announcement. We have a couple of slots left for coaching before the end of the year. Now, here's the good news. That end of the year, because our payment plans are a private agreement between the two of us, then if you sign up for coaching, you get to write the entire price of coaching off this year. So don't forget, if you're leaning in the direction of walking with me and my team and having down this fundability path, getting customized solution coaching, man, you've got to just give us a call. Info at creditsense.com. Info@creditsense.com. Shoot Cheyenne an email. She will schedule a planning session with you and see if you how to best solve your fundability challenges. Right? Info@creditsense.com. And I'm telling you, you guys, we're here. If we're in charge of how we end the year. So if you can't join me, I would love for you to join me on this fundability path. We're killing it. In the month of, we are literally one client away from 1,000 funded clients. 1,000 funded clients since 2015. I am so happy about how we're ending the year. And I invite you to join, to level up your organization, level up your family, level up your relationship, and be a part of crushing it at the end of the year. And we're going to be having a celebration of our 1,000th client who's funded. And I want you to want you to get your share of business fundings, of funding approvals that are the result of you taking charge of everything that's on your borrower behaviors and your borrower profile. You guys, this is the time. Let's do it. I invite you to come and join me. And it has been a pleasure for this year of we're at 110, 100 plus podcasts now, and we're going strong. And I invite you to keep binging, keep watching, keep loving us. Come to the boot camp if you haven't joined the boot camp. Anything you engage with us, write it off before the end of the year. Go to getfundablebootcamp.com and getfundablebook.com. Just come and join this wild and crazy, awesome opportunity to fund your dreams with other people's money. This is Merrill Chandler, your host of the Get Fundable podcast, the Get Fundable universe, and let's finish strong.
Thank you for listening to the Get Fundable podcast. Please leave comments because Merrill would love to read about your aha moments from this episode. And be sure to visit getfundable.com to read our blog, get important links, join our community, and much, much more, like ordering Merrill's tell-all book that is changing the world, The New F Word. And you got to tell your friends about this podcast because we want them to get fundable too.